Hi, subscribers. Hope you're doing well. And this is me, Asan Shanmugam. I welcome you all to our Little Slaw YouTube channel. So today in this video, you're going to see about. So we are going to discuss about what is a browser stack because recently I have come up with this uh, uh, browser stack and its various features. So we're going to see. We'll start with the basics. What is a browser stack and why should we use browser stack and what are the key benefits of it and how does the browser stack work and much more like what will we learn in this course. So all of these things are going to be covered in this video. So please don't forget to subscribe to Little Star YouTube channel and like this video if you really enjoyed it and if you really find it's useful for you. So starting with the browser stack. So browser stack is a cloud-based testing platform and that allow you to test the websites, mobile applications, across thousands of real devices. You can you can test it through browsers and different operating systems as well, like the iOS, the Android. So instead of maintaining a huge lab where you have multiple phones, tablets, desktops, so what does this browser stack gives you is it gives you an instant access to all these devices without you even know. I mean, you don't need to have all these in the infrastructure, like you don't need to invest a lot of money in it, but instead the browser stack will give you instant access to all these devices, right? Okay, so far we saw about what is a browser stack, and now we'll see why should we use browser stack. So we all know we were working in various organizations, and the development team they actually build the websites or mobile app. So we know that one of the biggest challenge is to make sure that it work across different browsers and devices because we have millions of users who use different operating systems, different browsers like Chrome, Edge, Firefox, Opera, and devices. When it comes to devices, it's like for iPhone, yeah, we do have different versions. Like starting the latest devices take for example, like from 10, 11, 12, iPhone 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 versions. But when it comes to Android, you do have different companies like Samsung, um, Google has its own set of devices, right? So Android has been used across several different organizations. The same way, so what happens is we might have to design a perfect layout in Chrome so that it will be easy for us to find things which are misaligned in Safari or it is broken on an iPhone. So this is where the browser stack becomes invaluable, which is the browser tag stack will help you to do all these functional related issues or challenges, I would say. And then talking about the key benefits, the first benefit is you can test it on real devices and not on emulators because yeah, I know there are other applications, other organizations who have come up with emulating the device. But what happens is they use emulators. But unlike emulators, browser stack let us to test in real or actual smartphones or tablets or even desktops to catch the real world issues. So you don't need any setup because everything runs on cloud. So you don't need to install or you don't need to maintain any device labs. And it supports manual and automated testing. So you are, I mean, like if you prefer hands-on interactive testing or automated test execution using frameworks like Selenium, APM, and Cypress, yes, browser stack helps you covered. So we are going to see about all of these in the upcoming videos. It works on any browser or any operating system. So from Chrome to Edge, from Windows to Mac OS, from iOS to Android, cross-browser and cross-platform testing is effortless. And when it comes to integration with CI/CD pipelines, yes, so nowadays we all know we have to deliver software real quick and also without any errors or without any challenges. So what we do is we automate the testing in continuous integration workflows using tools like Jenkins, GitHub Actions, Bitbucket pipelines as well. And the next topic is we'll see how does the browser stacks work. And we are going to cover much more in the upcoming slides now. But before we move on to the next slide, there are a few things which I need to discuss. That is the live the automated testing, the local testing. So we'll start the live testing where we can manually interact with the websites on different devices. I'll show you how to do that. And then we'll move on to the automated testing where we can use powerful tools like Selenium, we can use tools like APM, and we also will cover local testing where we can do the debugging of features, we can do parallel testing and CI/CD integrations. And of course, I'll share extra tips to make your testing more efficient and reliable, because by the end of this course, you will definitely master the browser stack and you'll be able to confidently test application like a pro. So now we'll move to the next topic, which is we're going to understand what is mobile testing and the different types of mobile testing that we have. So now we'll see what is mobile testing. So mobile testing refers to the process of testing your application which runs on mobile devices like smartphones, tablets. So why we do this is to ensure that the applications functions correctly and they provide a seamless user experience and they work without any flaws. So when I say flaws, without any errors across different devices. So when you we might find that okay, some apps they work fine on in Android with the different sizes, with different processing speed. They might work well with the Samsung app phones, but it might not work with the other uh, Oppo, or there are lots of phones that runs on Android, right? Again, it depends on the screen sizes and even depends on the operating systems, because every um, company has have their own built-in or customized Android application, Android operating system. So considering all these, the device, the application should work fine on any device, right? So why is mobile testing important? So think about how many apps you use daily. So take for example, social media applications, the banking applications, the shopping, fitness, or even gaming. So if an app keep on crashing frequently, users will definitely uninstall it and they will never ever use it again. Or if it is like slow, the user won't even engage in it. Or if it doesn't look good on all screen sizes, users will move to competitors. Yes, exactly. So this is why testing mobile application is rigorously crucial. So because we ensure that the performance, the functionality, and even user satisfaction. And when it comes to the types of mobile testing, what are the type of mobile testing that can we do? So we normally categorize into two types. One is the manual testing, where the testers interact with the app just like a real user to check for bugs and usability issues. And when it comes to automated testing, we use tools like APM, Espresso, or XUI test to run automated script and perform repetitive tasks efficiently. Additionally, mobile testing covers various aspects like functional testing, where we check whether the app work as expected. We'll check for the performance testing, where is the app is fast and responsive under heavy usage. We also check for the usability testing, where is the app user friendly and intuitive. And we check for security testing, where like are the user data or the transaction is protected or not. And we do check for the compatibility testing, where does the app work on different devices and operating systems. So some of the challenges I should definitely talk about these before we move on to the other types, like um, why mobile testing on browser stack. I should definitely say these challenges. So what happens is we all know there is a concept called device fragmentation. So with thousands of devices in the market, how the testers or the developers can ensure that the app runs smoothly on all of them, right? So it's a very big challenge for anybody, for the developers or for the testers or for the product managers or even for the application owners. And the next thing is the OS versions. So the applications that we build has to be compatible with different versions of iOS and Android, right? So that's another challenge. And then the network conditions. So the app must work well in different network speeds, ranging from 5G to very weak Wi-Fi signals. And then the battery and performance, because the app that we build should not drain the battery life at any point of time, or it should lag, or it lower it like brings down the performance of the mobile, right? So considering all these challenges and all these possibilities or all these types of testing, we must really put in the tool. So that's the reason I've given the next point, which is why mobile testing on browser stack. So we're going to see that now. And now, as I told you, we are going to see why mobile testing on browser stack. So I should say this, mobile testing on BrowserStack is an excellent, a good choice because it offers a reliable, a scalable, and an efficient way to test your applications across real devices and diverse environments. So here I'll say why does it stand out from other applications which are like similar to it. So the first thing is BrowserStack gives you access to real devices and not just emulators. So BrowserStack provides access to thousands of real mobile devices across different brands, the OS versions, and screen resolution. Emulators, and I should say these simulators. I mean, these emulators and simulators, they cannot fully replicate the real world conditions like performance, the touch responsiveness, or even the battery drain. But browser stack really helps you in that way, and no infrastructure hassle. So you don't need to buy or you don't need to maintain the physical mobile devices. You don't need to keep on doing the updates, the patches, the security updates, and everything. Right? When you're maintaining all this infrastructure, you should do. But browser stack, when you're using BrowserStack, you don't need to maintain all these, and you can get instant test on cloud-hosted devices, so which saves you a lot of cost and setup time. And it supports both manual and automated testing. So when I say about manual testing, you can use BrowserStack's live feature to manually test the apps on real devices. And when it comes to automated testing, yes, you can run tests using APM, XUI test, Espresso, and other frameworks on real devices in the cloud. And it works across multiple OS versions and devices. So you can test your app's compatibility with older and latest versions of iOS and Android. You can validate the UI responsiveness across different sizes, screen sizes, and resolutions. You can even do parallel testing for faster execution. So you can run tests simultaneously on multiple devices, which reduces test execution time significantly, and it helps you to like scale the mobile automation efficiently. And even, in fact, I should say this: the debugging and the logs are visible for you for easy issue resolution, because you can get detailed videos, you will get screenshots, logs, and even stack traces as well. Like you can even open the dev tool where you can go through the stack traces to debug any app failures quickly. And even, in fact, you can ensure a faster resolution of bugs which are found during the testing. And there is another highlighting point which I should say, which is you can simulate the network, and you can even do location-based testing. Say, for example, you can test your app under different network conditions like 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, or even Wi-Fi drop. And even you can simulate GPS location to check the app behavior based on the user's geolocation as well. And finally, you can seamlessly integrate this into CI/CD because it supports integration with CI/CD pipelines that allows automated tests to run as part of your development cycles. It works with Jenkins, GitHub Actions, and Circle CI, and much more. So tomorrow, we're going to see the testing on real devices and emulators, like how does it work, the differences between it, and setting up and configuring a test environment and running manual tests on real devices. And we're going to see how does this running automated test uh, with Selenium and APM works. And after that, we're going to see some of the best practices for mobile testing, and then we're going to see a demo on how mobile testing workflow works on BrowserStack. So that's going to be more interesting. So please don't forget to subscribe to Little Star YouTube channel to watch all these, to learn, to know more about mobile testing integrated with BrowserStack, the functional, the automated testing, and everything. And finally, we're going to see the challenges and troubleshooting. What are the network issues that we face, the device availability, the handling pop-ups and alerts, reporting and logging as well. So much more things are going to be explored. So please don't forget to subscribe to our Little Slaw YouTube channel, and see you all very soon in our next video. Until then, it's bye-bye from Vasan Shanmugam and your favorite Little Slaw YouTube channel. Take care and bye-bye.